Okay, thank you, Brad. Thank you for this fantastic opportunity to speak about a story that is taking place in Chile and that no one believed it was possible. And it's not only taking place in Chile, but also in other countries in Latin America. So there is no mystery there that most people don't know a lot about economics. Most people don't understand economics, and I'm not referring just to regular folks. I'm referring to the elites, politicians. I'm referring to intellectuals, professors at universities. So many of my friends, for instance, don't know anything about economics, even if they have PhDs in philosophy, history, you name it. So I thought to myself, what can I do to help them? They are not going to read Mises Human Action. That's not going to happen. They wouldn't even read Henry Hazlitt's Economic in One Lesson, which we have available, of course, in Chile. So I wrote this book. It's 120 pages long, 15 chapters. It goes from price theory, capital theory. It covers free trade and all of that. No footnotes, no math, no graphs, no authors cited. In other words, academic suicide. I wrote it anyway because I don't care. I care about changing minds. What happened? This has become the most sold book on economics in Chile's history already. It's 50,000 copies after a year of publication, and it's still #1. This is from last Sunday, the ranking that you can see on the left, and the other one is it hit the top 3 on Amazon in Spain. So it has been a huge success in Spain as well. It has been a huge success in Argentina, in Colombia. It's being very successful in Mexico, and so on. You can see here different libraries. And why is it the case that it has become so successful? Well, people are sharing it on Instagram. It's a social media phenomenon. That's the reason. In Chile, I didn't give many interviews. I did some. In other countries, I gave many interviews. And so this is the reason why people are buying it, because others like themselves are sharing it. There was a hunger for this content, and no one was covering this. No one was doing the job of explaining economics in simple terms. So it has become a cultural phenomenon. Of course, the left says that it's all being bought by Chilean billionaires who want to prevent the burial of neoliberalism under our current president, Gabriel Boric. But the truth is that people are reading it everywhere, and they're sharing these sort of stories. On the subway or on a plane, some people on their honeymoon at the Niagara Parks. And this is the most incredible one, who had a heart attack and was recovering, and he took the book in Spain in order to read something while he was recovering. Crazy. This is some of the interviews I've given, and you can see that most people give 5 stars to the book. Of course, we have the trolls that go into the websites, and they always put like 0 stars, they haven't read it, but it's part of the cultural war we are engaging here with the left. They really hate the fact that someone who is not on the left, in the case of Chile, is leading the best-selling, now long-seller book is this, nonfiction. I'm beating all the self-help books. Self-help. My publishers say they had never seen something like this, and they didn't expect it. This covers for Brazil and Germany. We kept the English title in German because Straßenökonom was something like didn't make a lot of sense. So they're going to publish it with an English title. And the subtitle is 15 Lessons in Economics to Survive Politicians and Demagogues. That's the subtitle. So 15 Lessons in Economics to Survive Politicians and Demagogues. And you can see we have a red wave in Latin America that sees no stopping, and by red I mean socialist wave. So the book comes at the right time. So let me share with you a few conclusions before I finish. People want to learn. It is not true that people are not interested in economics or things like that. I hear this all the time. Young people, they don't want to read. Regular folks, like people who are buying this book, the Uber driver, like it's all sorts of people, different people. And I'm not even taking into account the book that has, because it has been pirated, it's a pirate edition, is being sold on the streets everywhere. So people want to learn. There is a hunger for this content. We need new faces spreading the same message. It's not enough with Henry Hazlitt's 1946 economics in one lesson. That's not enough. We have to write new works with new faces and be able to communicate the same ideas, you know, in the way that they have to be communicated nowadays, which is social media. We have Henry Hazlitt's book available in Chile, as I said. No one buys it. Few people. Why? Because they don't relate to Henry Hazlitt. Not in Latin America. I don't know what the records are here in the United States. We have to keep it simple. I have lots of friends who write papers, that's very important, but they're not changing no one's minds. No one. I mean, and this is the fight I always have with them. It's good to be in the ivory tower, but no one rates you. There are exceptions, of course, but usually they don't have an impact on how people think. We have to bring things like positive economics or Austrian economics, sound economics, let's call it that way. We have to bring it to the streets. That's why I called it the street economist. And people reacted. We have to keep it sexy. I mean, like juvenile. We have to keep it entertaining. We have to keep it fun. You know, we can't dress like very fancy all the time because some people don't relate to that. A lot of people, especially young people, they don't relate to that. So it's also you know, aesthetics is a very important part of this message. They have to relate to you. You have to offer something more than content. You have to offer an experience. And we have to be everywhere. By that I mean we have to be on the media, of course, academia, but we have to be on social media. We have to go on YouTube programs with influencers. We have to be everywhere. It's very good to have people who think about the theory of warfare, but we need soldiers who really fight the war in order to win it. So my invitation to you is to help us here at Atlas create more street economists so we can win one of the most important fights in the region, Latin America, and perhaps even in the United States. Thank you very much.